Jesus Christ. And today, like I said in earlier series, I want to speak about stress-free life. Ama kwa Kiswahili, maisha bila stress. And before I come to that topic, there are things I want to make clear. Like, I know this message, all to my thinking, it will reach many people, and I want to be of help to whoever it gets to. The reason I'm saying this is I have two things that I want to identify. Today is 9th of November 2016. There's a particular thing I want to note on that one. Then I want to remember a date. The Lord spoke to me. And that date is 30th September 2016. Why I'm trying to say this is because as from now henceforth, there are a series of teachings that will come. And I know there are some things that I will be speaking that will shock you. Why will they shock you? Because in life, there is what we have built on. Like I said, the other series I was building on the Aaronic priesthood, which was introduced by Moses. But as the next series to follow, I want to build more on Melchizedek order of priesthood. In the 4 series that have already gone, I started speaking about Melchizedek order of priesthood to introduce it. This time, or last time that I spoke, was about the end of the world. And that was speaking of things that people may come out with a debate. Because it has been a big question. When? How? But now, what I'm trying to say is, there are things I speak from the kingdom side of it, kingdom of God. So, what I'm trying to say is, on 30th of September 2016, as I was thinking on now when to start speaking about, the Lord gave me this issue or this something to tell the viewers. The things that the Lord is going to speak through me as I introduce the Melchizedek order of priesthood is not debatable. It's not something that you can debate about. And he said this, call it good breaking news. We have had news here and there. But this particular one has a significance of what good breaking news. The understanding of news to what we know is something that is just coming. But this particular one has a special thing to speak about new. Because new is something that you have never heard, something that you have never seen, something that has never been in existence. But we make a bit of confusion when we talk about a new house, a new dress, or a new whatever. Well, as we know, this is not a new house because houses have been there, dresses have been there. But this particular time I want to see a new or news now coming of the new priesthood as something that has not been. That's why I'm saying there are words that I will speak, they will shock you because of the high expectations that we have been expecting. I know for sure I am all out, I'm speaking to people who are learning. For example, if we talk of the Bible, there are people who have studied the Bible and they have high qualification. Some are doctors, some have degrees, some have gone to any level, you name it. I'm also aware that there are people who will listen to this, who are politicians in high levels. I'm also aware that there are people who will listen to this, who are older than me. Why am I saying this? It's because of the kind of life that we have been molded into. And when we start now weighing or putting it on scale, this might not be a new thing. So, speaking of the new priesthood is something that has never been thought of or has never been realized. And that's why I'm calling it new. For example, the Lord spoke to me clearly and said, Kenya is a blessed nation. And when you look at this nation of Kenya, which we call blessed, if you compare the blessings that we know of, you may not see it. But that still remains, Kenya is a blessed nation. And being a blessed nation is to stand out. Being in an African continent, Kenya will stand out, not because of anything, but by the choice of God. So, it will bring something different to the whole world. And that's why I'm saying, this is what we need to do. Even as we meditate, or even as we listen what is coming, keep aside religion. Keep aside politics. Keep aside what we know and listen to what we know not. E.g., like I said, the other series, which was the 50th series, I was talking about the end of the world. And I know there's some people who have come with ideas, with calculations, according to their understanding, which never came to be true. So, that's why keeping those things away, now you listen what God is saying. Because high expectations may confuse you. Because there is what you are brought up in, if it's religious, there is what you know about religion, there is what you know if you are on the sphere of politics, there is what you know all about politics. There is what we know as the traditions which were passed on to us by our parents, which is according to Levitical priesthood, passed from one generation to the other. So all the things we see are passed on from another generation. Having said that, now I want to come to the topic today. The topic is living a life without stress. Stress is something that causes you, or is a burden that holds you back, is a burden that you feel is something that is stressing your mind, is stressing your body, is something that you cannot make, is something that you cannot do because it has been stressing you. And that has been a result of people failing in their life, getting sick because of the stress. For example, I want to use this an example and say, when it comes to finances and you want to be like somebody and you have a business, you try to make it work, it doesn't work. You try here and there, it gives you a lot of stresses. Another good example, we all know about our families. Because when we realized, or when we came to family setup, there are things we are expecting that once a grown-up person get married, how is a family? And there are things that you thought would be okay with the family. But on and on, things has not been the way you thought. In politics also, or in our day-to-day life, things have not been okay. And this gives you a lot of stress. To some people, it goes even to an extent that they fall sick because of depression, because of the things that you cannot meet in life to your expectation. And that's why I'm saying there is a time kept by God for us to live a stress-free life. This topic about stress-free life, like any other topic, be it the end of the world, I like to start and to know the original, where did it start, who is the author of that, and what happened. Okay. The life that I said is me. I want to start straight forward from the Garden of Eden. When we look at the Garden of Eden, God creating and God preparing the garden for man to have a good life. But now, when it comes to Genesis 3, Genesis 3, in that verse 23, is now where we find God visiting man. After all that what took place in the garden, man was now brought into a position accusation of being chased out of the garden. In fact, that is what I call a new life. Remember this. Man was created and he was given what to do in the garden. But now when it comes to that he is chased out of the garden from the eastern side, he had now to go to experience something that was not in him. Remember, in the Garden of Eden, as we understand, man had everything. But the life that we are seeing today is not what was in the garden to begin with. So life started changing when man was chased out of the garden. In fact, we are enjoying what we call Eden. But the first man knew nothing about Eden. But by daily revelations, God kept on revealing to him what he should do to get his daily bread. And this is the beginning of life that stressed him so much. Just like we experience today. At this particular year, there is no food. At this particular time, things have changed. So now, that is where now something new comes in. A new experience. So that new experience came through Adam. He started experiencing a different life. As we continue reading the Bible, new things started coming. In chapter 4, we find him knowing his wife, and so they gave birth. I know even when the woman became pregnant, that became something new because he had no idea what it is. Even giving birth was a big problem too, but thanks be to God, because he gave them the way out, and it was the way it came, just like we see it today. What I'm trying to say is, the beginning of stress, of the beginning of problems to come to man, is what we see today, which was experienced or was started by Adam. Now, end of that stress is now what I want also to speak about. That is the first Adam. So to come out of stress, to come out of that new experience that Adam spoke about, or that Adam experienced, there has to be another new thing, something new. And that's why I'm saying the things that I will speak, or the topics that I will go through from now henceforth, they are very new. They are things that you have never heard. They are things that will make you start scratching your head. Because there is what we know, but now we are entering to something that is, we are entering to the things that we know not. And it was also not very easy for me, because when I thought I knew, and I knew what to do, and as a preacher or a bishop for that matter, there is this one word that the Lord spoke to me, that I will bring you from top, bring you down, so that I can start using you for a new thing. That word has remained in me. I didn't know what that new thing is, but through the experience now that I have, the things that I have gone through can tell me surely it was that new thing caused some problems in my life, because I had to come out of the society and start experiencing something new, something that even caused people to say I have gone crazy. Because when you come out of the society, the people you are living with, you don't do things the way they do. You are not used to that new life. You start now developing something unique. And that uniqueness gave me names. Others said he has gone crazy. He has gone out of his way, out of his mind. If you see it the way people used to see it then, and call me names, think of anything, you are not the first. So it happened and is still on, but I thank God by the grace of God, I have managed. But right now as I speak, now the Lord wants me to start speaking or bringing out that experience of life. Remember, after experience of stress like any other human being, so now shifting from new life gave me double stress. So what I experienced and now what I have gone through for the last 15 years is like it a double stress. But like I said, from the month that I have quoted in September 30th, that is now when the Lord said, now you can now start enjoying a stress-free life. Why do I call it stress-free? Something has changed in my life. The things that I used to see unusual, they are no longer unusual. Remember, I was called being a family man. And so, the family members are the first to think that the state of this man is not okay. So now the signs to tell you that things are happening to be good, again it also starts with the family. They tell you now, or they accept you, they start saying what we thought is not, because something has taken place. I could still remain the same person, because personality will not change. Just like we have Adam, who was in the garden enjoying the goodness of God, is the same Adam we see him out of the garden. But in them, or in him, there was a change. That is what I call, there was a spiritual change. There was another understanding. There was another wisdom to carry on things, because the wisdom which is outside the garden is not the same wisdom which was in the garden. So there is an inner change that takes place. Right now, as I'm talking to you, I have experienced that inner change, the reception of people who are closer to me, the reception of the people I interact with here and there, and they say we can see a change. Now, that life that I went through is what I'm calling life of stress. That life of stress will have to end because it was for a time. Even for me, I never knew how long it's going to take, but thanks be to God, it's out now. That spirit, that whatever, has come out of my life. And now, as I'm talking to you, I have started enjoying a stress-free life. That is why I am in a position to tell you that there is life. There is a different life that God has kept for us. So now, to speak about the newness of life is something that I have experienced, so I can tell the difference of the life lived and the new life that I am experiencing today. And I want to believe with all my heart that is what was in the mind of God, so that we may come out having a difference, having the knowledge of God, understanding why should we reference God and who is He to us. Because if I take, for example, the life of somebody like Job, the things that happened to Job, they are the things that were happening behind him. Take, for example, Job chapter 1 and 2. You find as the sons of God are coming to present themselves to God. And in the same, the Satan came also. So he presented himself. And I thank God for this conversation which was going on in the absence of Job. God is testifying of a good servant, a faithful servant. So Job was faithful to God. Now, the devil had an answer. He said he is the way he is because of ABCD. And then he was given permission that what you see in him, or that what you see he has, go and destroy. But, that's the word but. Don't touch his heart. Meaning, even the things which stressed somebody like Job, because hearing reports coming, that is what we call stress. All these, like any other human being, I want to put myself there. Here of your children are gone. What you had in the chambers is not them. Cows. These reports, like any other human being, even born again or saved as or faithful as he was, gave him stress. And this has happened to us in life. Maybe you have not gone through what he went through, but there are other things that are still stressing you. It could not be death, but it could be you are so poor or you are so rich, but you have no peace. So when it comes to the things that we call news, we hear of people who had so much, but they had done ABCD. People hang themselves. You find others shoot themselves, not because they don't have, but they do have, but they don't have. Now, like anybody else, I used to think that somebody like the president has no stress. Because the guy has money, he has guards to guard him. Where does the stress come from? But the higher you are, the more the stress. So, as the poor person is crying of stress, so is that one who is high. But thanks be to God, because at one time, that stress will end. This will only end as we come back to God Himself. Remember I said Adam was chased out of his comfortable zone. He was now told, go and experience. Thanks be to God for Jesus Christ, who stood and said, come unto me, all you who labor, and I will give you rest. In that rest that Jesus promised us has never been experienced. Though there is that invitation, but that rest, the Bible clearly says, even Moses never gave or never promised them rest, because rest had to come in the divine power of God. And by so doing, that's where now we have a beginning of new life of rest. So we can now start enjoying something new. How will that come? That rest will only come by accepting the invitation. Come to me, and I will give you rest. You who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So that particular time that God said, I am pulling you from up there down here so that I may start with you, that is the invitation towards rest. And that is exactly what God is saying. My rest is for you to enjoy together with me. Now, what I'm trying to say is, there is that divine call of God from your daily life to a new life. And after that is over, and after experiencing, now you become as God is. I remember in our series, or in the last series that I had, I spoke this word, and I said, I don't want to be like Christ, but I want to be Christ Himself. This is only when that spirit, that mind of Christ comes in you, life changes. And I am talking of a changed life. I know what it is to be right with God, what we call righteousness. I know what it means, because this is out of experience. In order that I may not come out of the topic, which is stress-free life, I don't want to dwell much on righteousness, but at a later time I will bring that topic of righteousness, because what we think righteousness is not. Because I say I could be the same person, but I'm thinking that I am right with God. But to be sincere, I am not. Thanks be to God, to the people who have tried by all means to be right with God. They have forsaken so much. They have done ABCD. But to be right with God, something must come out of you. Just like there was that change of Adam from the garden, out of the garden, there is something that started developing in his life so that he can cope up with the life outside the garden. Righteousness is something else than what we think. I say, just do not build on what you see or what you have heard. Keep aside for the moment and know there is something new. I said about newness in life. Now let me come to this one. Why am I teaching all these things? Or why am I talking of these things? Why should you listen to these tapes or CDs for that matter? We must understand very well, when God wants to affect anything on the earth or anything on the planets, he uses man. It took Adam to make us what we are today. It took that sin of nature of Adam to cause us have stress. It took one man to make us suffer the way we are suffering. So now the same will happen. Takes a man to bring difference. No wonder the Bible clearly says in Ezekiel 22 verses 30, I looked for a man who can preach the gospel. I want to say with a lot of confidence, with the things that I have gone through and with the life that I have been with God, God called me to be that man. And so I preach that God and man. So through that experience, through the things God has been revealing to me, through those things, for example, I have a list of a number of things. May you allow me to read this. Breaking news, breaking news. The reign of Christ is in place. This is what God spoke to me on 8th November 2016. In the year 2001 to date, so much has happened. It is time to interpret the physical to spiritual. The physical is a shadow of the spiritual. Moses was told to do as per the instructions when he was building the tabernacle. This you can find it in Exodus 35, chapter 35 and chapter 36. The same Moses was told by God, I will raise a prophet like unto you, and I will put my words in his mouth. He shall speak as I commanded him, and that prophet is here by name Benson. And from now henceforth, I will do as required of me by God. That is the link between Israel and Kenya. So that man could not be found in Israel. Now Kenya will raise that new priesthood. Or Kenya is blessed to become the light of the world. Israel was commissioned by God to do disciple making. That is all what we read, what was revealed to Moses. Gospel kingdom is now what God wants to release through me. That's why I say the teachings that I will continue teaching, they will bring a difference in your life so that you may also start to enjoy stress-free life. For example, I started by introducing who is Melchizedek. The second one is stress-free life. The third one, you can know kingdom reign, the rapture, when and how. You can know of the church, which was spoken by Christ, Matthew 16, 18 to 19, builder being Christ. That is the church that Christ will reign through. You can know more about the union that will make us one people, one nation, globally. You can also know who is God, who is the devil, and who is the devil worshipper. You can know what to expect after 2020. You can know how Africa has changed the face of the earth. 7. You can know 8. You can know how Africa has changed the face of the earth. You also need to know why today we are seeing a difference between the girl child and the boy child. You should also know what is the reign of Christ. When is it to be, and how is it like, and what is expected of us. You can as well know what judgment, when is it, and how is it. Is there heaven? Is there hell? Where do people go when they die? Why is, at the moment, Barack Obama today, or has been, campaigning for a woman? And at the same time, in Kenya, we have the same campaign. What message is this that God is giving to us? It is also important to know who is Eve and who is the woman. Why women are doing better than men. This and many more, as God continues to reveal to me, you will get that information through DVD or as the series continues. So you can see we have a lot and many more which will come. Once we are settled in that, just like when God started revealing himself to Job, because all things were being done behind him. That's why he was getting the courage even to say, doesn't matter whether things are gone, I know my Redeemer. When we look at Job in chapter 42, he is a different person altogether. Now he can stand and say, God, I know nobody can thwart your plan. I used to hear people speak, but right now, I know what it is. That is a testimony. After listening to several of these teachings, I know for sure you will come to realize what it is all about and why we have gone through the life that we have been through. God intended us to have a testimony that will make a difference in our life. And that is the testimony that I have today as we speak. Now, with that testimony, I can confidently see the lesson of God saying, I will bring you from top down so that I can start with you. Normally, it's not an easy game. It's only that you cannot say no. You cannot tell God what to do. It is his prerogative to choose people. And he does not choose because of how good we are, but it is him who knows why. So we don't boast, we cannot boast because of what God has done to us. Moses was chosen by God. Abraham the same. And so there has to be that lineage of what God is doing. To say Kenya is a blessed nation, maybe somebody will ask, why not Uganda? Somebody will say, why Benson Ngure? Why was Moses chosen? That remains God's way of doing things. And when I'm saying right now, I'm in a position to tell you why you should live a stress-free life is because I have lived my life. I can see that life of Job, and for one to come and testify, he must have gone through it. And so when I say there is stress-free life, I believe there is. If by any chance I will have to speak of the things I have gone through, like what I said, when God spoke the word that I will change you from your position to another. Remember, I had churches. And I had to go to them and tell them, from now henceforth, I am not part of it. Because the call changes. Just like Abraham was a Gentile, but by the virtue of calling, was told, leave your people and I will make you a nation. With children, without, we see him becoming that. Put yourself in my shoes. Like I said, Abraham was just told, come out of your people. Go to the place I will show you. It was not easy for him, even though we just read it and see him going. Now, when God also spoke of the same to me, remember, I was a bishop, had family. So, leaving your people, leaving the ministry was not something very easy. But I had to leave it. Now, in leaving or in doing whatever God asks you to do, I had to make some enemies. For example, as long as my family could not understand me, I became rejected. They rejected me. I lost friends. So after losing friends and being in a state where nobody understood me, that was not an easy thing to go by. And to some extent, I almost spoke like Jeremiah when he said, God, you have deceived me. It was not an easy ground for him to see God as a deceiver, because life was really tough. Remember, this is a man who had preached to so many people without food. A Bible scholar said that he preached for 50 years without food. So, how do you take that to be? And here you are saying God called him, or he has believed that God called him. So it's very easy to come out of line and speak of deception of God. There is a point I want to make here. As I have spoken about Jeremiah being deceived, doesn't matter what you speak of God. You can say anything, but that will not change the plan of God. Look at somebody like Jonah. Regardless of what he went through, he never changed the plan of God. What God intended to fulfill, it was accomplished. Now, even when Jesus is saying, let this cup be removed, finally he ended up saying, may thy will be done. Because there was nothing he could do. So, these are the things we need to understand. The plan of God, like Job said, can never be thwarted. Doesn't matter what I went through. Doesn't matter what I lost. Doesn't matter who became my enemy. The plan of God must be fulfilled. And what God called me for must come to accomplishment. So those are things that we need to understand. We are not on this planet Earth by mistake. The whole creation is not suffering, as Paul says. The whole creation is suffering, is groaning, waiting for the redemption of the Son. It can groan as long as it will, but the plan of God still remains. That plan of God is what now I'm saying we have come to a time to enjoy. Now, the issue here is through where and how will we enjoy? What are we to benefit out of? I started saying through one man, sin came on the earth. That was to separate man from God. The same has to happen. Through one also we shall all come to the reunion of God. And that's why we are saying there has to be a way to bring union of the whole creation being united to have one people, one nation. All these divisions that we see, it is by the plan of God to bring them to an end. And all this information will help us to enter into that list of God. Coming to conclusion, I want to say this. There are things you can come out. For example, if you put yourself into life of being evil, you want. That is, you are wanting. There is what we call God fixing you in a place. That one is only divine power of God. So, it's now up to us to continue listening to what God is going to unveil or to reveal to us through the teachings. And by so doing, as we continue to know the truth, why we are what we are, why have we come to this, we shall come up. Up by knowing God, the intentions of God. Because what I have come to realize or have come to understand, we have suffered, is true. But that suffering has fruits. And then, now, what do we do now? As this is something new that is coming, may we be ready to go back so that we may enter into that rest which I'm calling stress-free. I have tasted the fruit. And I want to close with this scripture. As you see what we are seeing today, families are getting broken. Look at corruption. Look at evil things which are happening. We have come to a point we even don't know what to do. This is my word of encouragement. In Isaiah 59, 19 to 20, says this: the fear of God will come from the west, and the glory of God will arise from the east. As the glory comes to appear, we must experience that which God said, even when the enemy will come like a flood, God will raise a standard. That standard will be to oppose the works or the torture or the pain that we have gone through. So what am I trying to say? Your marriage could be at the breaking verge. Your family is no more. Your life has been miserable. that is to show us that the enemy has come like a flood, but there is a standard. I am part of the standard, and my soul, may the Lord bless you so much. Let's meet in our next service as God reveals things to me, so will I be obedient to speak them. As he told Moses, I will put words in his mouth to speak. Let you know today that that gap is already filled up. So it's our time to start enjoying stress-free life. Meet you next time. God bless you. Thank you so much, my beloved viewers. And these teachings, as I'm saying, you can get or you can contact me through my cell phone, which is plus 254 710 812 997, or by email, which is bensonkirago@gmail.com. The other one is unleashedpeople@yahoo.com. Any of this, you can contact me and we can do a summary, or we can do person to person. Because as I continue teaching this, there are many things which are personal you would like us to teach. But I would encourage you, go through all the series, and if there is any problem that you are facing and you would like us to share one-on-one, I'll be available for you. Be blessed. See you next time. And bring somebody or make somebody get a copy of the series. You can also get me in the YouTube, Bishop Benson Ngure. All the series will be there. You can choose any. Thank you so much. Be blessed.